All right, Mustang fans and surrounding areas, welcome to the beginning of the week. We start off with our podcast. It's our Ingleside podcast where we'll talk Ingleside Lady Mustangs basketball here, and then at around 7 or so, we'll talk about the boys, the Mustangs. So it's a Mustang podcast, and on the screen here we have our Ingleside Lady Mustangs head coach for our basketball program, Lawrence Whittle. Coach, how you doing today?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm doing good, Coach. Thank you for coming on. It's our first podcast, first time I've ever talked to Coach, but we wanted to bring him on. And Coach will be coming on pretty much every Monday at 6 o'clock. Will be the Ingleside Lady Mustangs basketball podcast where we'll talk with Coach. We'll recap some of the prior games from the past week, and we'll preview the upcoming games. We'll talk about the players, get coach's thoughts. We'll talk about the players' performance. Coach will talk about some of the girls that are doing really good. Some of the girls probably from that are coming up in the program, how things are going in practice. We'll talk about the other levels of basketball as well. We'll go with our JV freshmen. We'll get coach's thoughts on the middle school. We might even bring some of the coaches on from time to time to talk and get more in depth with what they're doing in the other programs, basketball programs at the other levels. And then, of course, Coach will at from time bring in some of his players. And on the screen, you can see on the first one, Coach brought one of his players on. And we always welcome players on the podcast. And on the screen, we have junior Ingleside Lady Mustang basketball player, Ashley Marker. Ashley, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, Ashley, and thank you for coming on and spending some time. We always like it when the players come on because we get to introduce them to the community, and you guys get an opportunity to talk about your program, talk about your coach, talk about your players, your teammates, and also what is it that's going on? What's got us so excited? You girls, I was looking at your schedule. You guys are off to a pretty good start here in the non-district. And you guys just came off of a tournament, and I'll get your thoughts here. Where I thought you guys did very well in this tournament. But introduce yourself to the community. We know your name, but what is your jersey number? What position do you play? And anything else you want to tell us about yourself?
I'm number 11, and I'm the point guard. And I've been starting for 2 years, and I've been on varsity for 3 years.
Awesome, awesome. And you're a junior, so you're going to be coming back next year. So this is a player that if you haven't had an opportunity to come out and see the girls, take the opportunity here. We got a couple of more games in the non-district, and then we'll start district play here real soon. And it's going to be a really good district, and we'll get coach's thoughts on the district coming up. But Ashley, do you play any other sports outside of basketball?
I play volleyball, and I jump in track.
So you do track. Awesome. Awesome. Well, we'll be covering a little bit of that track too. So we'll have some of the coaches and maybe we'll talk to you back during track season. So how did you get it started in basketball? Like how long have you been playing basketball and what got you started in playing basketball?
I started in 5th grade. I would just play with my friends, and I really liked it, so I thought I would try it, and I never stopped.
There you go. Well, Coach Whittle probably glad you never stopped coming on and playing here for us. So let's talk a little bit about your season. You guys are off to a great start. I think you're like 13-8 somewhere in that area. If I may be a little off, which I
That's
think
it.
is really good. Talk to us a little bit about the season. How has it been going? I mean, we're a little late here getting to coach, but um, just what was the expectation for the team? You and your teammates talking. What was the expectation coming in before you started playing your first game, and how has the season gone thus far?
It's going good. In the beginning, we lost against a few teams that we shouldn't have, but we're getting better.
I saw that you played some bigger schools too. You started off with Cal Allen and Toloso Midway, two bigger schools than Ingleside, right? So we started off a little on the rough side, but then you guys get a win, and then you put in a couple of good wins, and then you just coming off of this Orange Grove tournament where You guys did pretty good. I mean, you lost to Cal Allen, but correct me if I'm wrong, Coach, because you beat Lyford, you beat Orange Grove, and you beat Aransas. If you'd have beaten Cal Allen, you guys would have been in the championship. Is that correct?
Correct. We would have played Rockport in the finals.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. And Ashley, you guys just you lost to Cal Allen. This is a bigger school by a few points, 49-42. So talk to us a little bit about that game against Cal Allen. I mean, this is a bigger school. When you play Cal Allen, no matter if you're playing football, what Cal Allen's Cal Allen, right? They kind of come in and people want to beat them, but they kind of got a little swag to them. They're Cal Allen, right? But you guys played them tough. It didn't seem like they bothered you at all. Talk to us a little bit about that the game and just your thoughts on how well your team played and almost got the win.
We kind of just started off with the rough start, but then we pick our quarter that we want to play the best, and we picked fourth quarter, and we caught up, but it was too late.
That's they always tell me there's no moral victories. Is what people tell me, but I do think that you can take something away. 49-42. I mean, you're talking about we didn't start off good, played good in the fourth quarter, came up a little short. What do you think you can? What do you specifically? What do you want to get before you start district? You got a few more games. What do you want for the team to get better at before you hit district? Because once you hit district, the wins and the losses will start to count, right?
Yes, sir.
So
I think it's our attitude sometimes.
the attitude, and so did you want to say something?
I think what she's trying to say. She's talking about just sometimes it takes us a little while to get up to play the game.
Okay.
We just kind of go with the flow for a little bit, and we've talked about in practice that we just got to come out with a little better killer instinct to get after them from the beginning and carry it out throughout the game. And so that's what we talk about. Our attitude is just being focused in on our game.
Okay. And Ashley, you got some freshmen. I mean, there's some seniors, you're a junior, but there's some freshmen on here too. I saw if the roster's correct. So what's it been like to have these young girls? Because I mean, last year they were playing eighth grade, right? Now they're playing some minutes for you guys, and they're playing against I would imagine the speed of the game obviously is a lot faster. So for these freshmen, you're playing some girls that are, you know, maybe 3-4 years older than them, and the speed of the game I would think is a lot faster than what they were accustomed to. What's it been like with these freshmen on your team? What have you seen from them now that they have a couple of games under their belts here on the varsity?
They've adjusted to the speed. They're pretty good, and um, yeah, they're pretty good, and they help us a lot.
They got to be good. Coach Whittle. I mean, we had your wife on for volleyball,
Yes.
and some of those podcasts she talked about. You're going to see some of these freshmen on basketball on varsity. She felt like, and when you see that, they're not only talented and athletic in one sport, they're just overall athletic, right? You see them on varsity on volleyball. You see them varsity now on basketball. So I think it's really nice when you're a freshman. I mean, there's going to be some hiccups, but obviously this is going to pay off when they become juniors and seniors, I feel. And so that's awesome to see that we've got a few that are freshmen that are playing
Yeah.
at the varsity level. Ashley, so district's coming up. I'd like to get your thoughts. Pretty much, I think it's kind of like the same teams you guys played last year, if not all the same, pretty much the same. What's your thoughts on the district? What do you think you guys need to do this year to beat some of these teams, possibly compete for the district title, right, and then get into the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get up there and win. I want to win district. That's our goal, is to win district.
Absolutely. Looking at your schedule, now I've never seen you guys play. We will go out there and stream some of the games, mostly on Friday nights. We'll go down there to Ingleside when you guys are there, and we'll bring our equipment and we'll stream the games. They're very, very nice. And so for the people that can't go out and see, which we want the gym to be packed, but those you got grandma, grandpa, family members that just can't make it out. If they tune into the NPND Sports Network, they can definitely catch some of the boys and girls games this year. We'll be able to live stream them, and that'll help out. So if you can't make it to the game, definitely support our Lady Mustangs basketball through the MPND Sports Network, our live stream. It was nice to have you on. We hope that Coach Whittle will bring more of the players. Hopefully, every week that he comes on, he'll have a player. We definitely would love to have more of the Lady Mustangs come out. So if you Ashley, if they tell you they're shy, say, oh, it's not, it's a lot of fun. They ask you questions, you get to talk about the program. We would love to see more of your teammates on, and hopefully Coach Whittle will bring you back before the season ends to talk more about the team and get your thoughts as we get into district. But good luck. Like I said, we'll be rooting for you and the Lady Mustangs. I think that we've got a great opportunity. I mean, looking at the district and looking at what we've done and how we've competed with the other big schools, I don't see why we won't be, if not in all of these games. We got a good opportunity to win the district. I mean, I don't know what Sinton or Rockport of them have, but this is going to be a good district. So definitely looking forward to it. I'll give you the final thought here, Ashley. Anything you want to add before we let you go? Any shout outs, mom, dad, teammates, friend, boyfriend, anything?
No. Well, yeah, everybody. Shout out to everybody.
There you go. Shout out to everybody. Can't go wrong there because you don't miss. I said everybody, so everybody's included. Ashley, thank you very much. Really appreciate your time, and we hope to have you back soon. Good luck tomorrow. You guys will be taking on Robstown. Is that correct, Coach?
Yes.
So, Ashley, before you go, what do you got to do? Want your thoughts on that Robstown game? What does the team have to do to get the W against the Lady Pickers?
We just gotta be smart with the ball.
No turnovers. Those turnovers, man. If you don't turn the ball over, you give yourself a good chance to win. All right. Again, Mustang fans, the Lady Mustangs will be playing Robstown. Come on out to the game. Coach, is that, let's see, that game, it's in Robstown, correct?
Robstown, yes.
So go on out there and watch and support the Lady Mustangs as they take on Robstown. That's tomorrow. Ashley, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Later.
Coach, thank you very much for bringing one of your players. We welcome them all the time. I know sometimes they're a little shy, but
Yes.
it's great.
Yeah, right.
No, it's great to have them on. We encourage them to come on and just so the community can get to know them and give them an opportunity to talk about the program and their teammates and whatever they want to say. It's great. That's why we do the podcast, to give the coaches an opportunity to talk about what's going on there. A lot of people don't know, what goes on, and then the players coming on as well. So thank you for having Ashley out, and hopefully next week we'll have another player. Coach, let's introduce you. First time I've met you. I don't know if this is the first time you've been in Ingleside, but who's Coach Lawrence Whittle? Tell us a little bit about you. How long have you been in Ingleside? How long have you been coaching basketball?
Oh man, well, I go by Lance. I mean, Lawrence is my given name, but everybody, all the males in our family are named Lawrence, so we all go by a different nickname. But it's no problem. I've been coaching for a total of 27 years, head coach for 25 years. This is my 4th year here in Ingleside. I spent my first 23 years in a little 2A town called Center Point, up by between Kerrville and Comfort, up there in the hill country.
Awesome. And Coach, did the Lady Mustangs make the playoffs last year?
Yes, we made it the last 2 years.
Okay.
That was the first time, I think, in 12 years that they made the playoffs, and we've made it the last 2 years. Our first year, we missed it by 1 game. If we would have won our last game, we would have made it. So all 3 years we would have made it, but we just fell short that last game. So we've improved every year since I've been down here.
That's awesome. And because looking at the schedule, obviously we've had some success in this district, right? I mean, it's been tough at times, but we obviously big in the playoffs. We've had some success. Before we get into the season, the non-district and the district, I'd like to have you introduce your assistant coaches. Who are they and their responsibilities?
Trey Mills, he's our assistant coach. We've only got 2 teams, so his responsibilities is he spends time with the JV, helping there, and then when varsity comes into practice after school starts or ends, and he comes and helps me for the rest of the practice. And then Chandel Cook, she's our JV coach, and it's both of their first years as an assistant coach here at Ingleside as far as the high school level. Mills came in from San Isidro. He was the head coach down there. And Chandel Cook, she's been a junior high coach that's moved up to the high school level this year.
Awesome. Well, like I said, we're going to be talking about those other levels maybe during the season on one of these podcasts. Maybe they'll join us for a bit and give them an opportunity to talk a little bit about what's going on. I'm always interested in those other levels because once the seniors this year, of course, it's rightfully their year. We want to get as much coverage as we can for our seniors, but we know also that the next man up player mentality, right? So we definitely want to keep the community updated on what the other levels are doing as they'll be up on varsity in a few years. Coach, I don't know if you have the varsity roster with you, but if you do, could you let us know who's on our varsity roster this year? If you could just give us a name, and if you have a jersey number, or maybe you don't.
I've got it memorized. I have to write it down every game. Number 1 is Oakley Ruiz. She's a freshman. Number 3 is Kiki Smith. She's a freshman also. Number 2, who's out for the year, is that's Kai Sanchez.
Mm.
And so, just a situation where she can't play for the year. Number 4 is the same kind of deal. Leilani Smith. She got injured in a game, dislocated her shoulder, kind of messed it up. So she's rehabbing that right now. So I don't know if she'll be back by the end of the year. I'm not, it's a sad situation because I miss her because she was one of our starters to begin the year. Then number 10, she's a senior, Krista Villarreal. Then 11 is Ashley Marker. 12 is Jasmine Carbajal. She's a junior. 14 is Kai Ralston. She's a freshman. Number 15 is Daisy Gonzalez. She's a sophomore. Then I have number 20, Danae Williams. She's a senior. 24, Maddie Agnew. She's a senior. And number 30, Daniela Brown. She's a junior.
So, Coach, they're young. You're bringing the bulk of this team back. So that's exciting with, the success that we've had in the non-district, getting into district.
Yeah.
A lot of these girls are going to be back for more than just a year. So that's exciting when you come out, Mustang fans, and you're watching basketball. This is what excites you. A team that's having success. You've heard Coach here last 2 years made the playoffs, and very young team. A lot of freshmen who haven't really even hit their prime yet, right? They're still learning. So a lot to get excited about, Coach. I mean, just hearing you talk here these few minutes and just watching, just looking here on the schedule and some of the teams that we've beaten and some of the teams that we've been close to beating. It's exciting. It's really exciting.
Yeah, they're learning how to win still, especially the younger girls. That goes back to, we're talking about the attitudes, sometimes they just don't know how to get over that hump and, finish a game or keep the intensity the same throughout the game. They just can't turn it on and off. And that's things they're learning and we're getting better at. I want to say the last 10 games were like 8-2, something like that. So they're starting to pick it up a little bit, maybe 7-2, 8-3, something like that, 7-3. But they're learning how to pick up the intensity for a longer period of time. It's still not quite where, as a coach, where I want it, but you can see that it's more than just a quarter now. It's more than, it's getting 2 quarters and into 3 quarters that they're keeping that intensity, and it's just a learning process, that we're going through right now. And, hopefully by the time district comes that we get enough of that we can win a few games then.
Well, I'm excited. I mean, with the players as young as they are and the amount of wins that we've already totaled here, it's exciting. And looking forward to the district to see how we're going to fare. But I would have to agree with you that I think looking at where we started and the wins that we've had up to our last game here in this tournament looks pretty good. More wins than losses. And that's definitely good. Coach, I like to, before we get into this non-district, coming into the season, and these young girls, what was your expectation as the coach? Like, what did you want to see from these girls? What did you want to see at the start? And now that you've had quite a bit of games, where do you think these girls can get to when the season ends, the regular season ends?
Well, at the beginning of the season, my expectations were that the freshmen wouldn't be thrust into quite the role that they're in now. I had the injuries to a couple of those girls that were expected to be starters or were starters for a while. And I was hoping that those freshmen can just kind of ease their way, get into the rotation and, just growing a little bit as the season went on. But, with those injuries, basically, I start two of the freshmen now. They're starting. So they got thrown into the fire early and they've handled it well. So that, that part of the season, that expectation is kind of surprised me, but I'm happy. Uh, my personal expectations for the season was, fight for a district championship. I knew we could be top one, two, three district teams, just for who's coming back from the other teams and who we had coming back. And there's still my expectations to win district. Then we talk about that every day. That's our goal, and that's what we're shooting for.
Well, I think we got a good shot. This is going to be very interesting because I'm going to be paying close attention. We do podcasting for Rockport as well,
Yes,
one for Toloso Midway. So we're going to be there. So this is going to be very interesting. I mean, and I love good games. I mean, I think it's great. I think we definitely want to pump it up and get the crowds on both sides out there, right? We want the
yes,
Ingleside Lady Mustang fans to come out, especially at home. Home is where you want the gym to be packed and loud. I think as a player, man, you see the fans out there, you definitely get excited. So we got to do our part. The girls practice hard. They get themselves ready to play. The coaches prepare and coach. So, Coach Whittle, we got a responsibility as a community too. And our responsibility is to go out there and show the support to the coaches, to the players, and to our program. So that's to all the community there in Ingleside. I'll be posting up when the games will be, when we will be there. All you got to do is show up, be loud, and cheer. And I think we can do that. And hopefully at the end, Ingleside will be having the district title. That would be great. Coach, when's the last time do you know that Ingleside, the Lady Mustang basketball, won a district title? That long, huh?
it's been a while. I mean, I know when I looked it up, because like I said, the first time we made playoffs was in 12 years, and that was a couple years ago when we made playoffs. And then, I don't know exactly when they win district last. It's been a while. I know they had some good teams in the early 2000s and up to 2010. That area, there's some good teams here that I'm sure one of those teams won district then. But yeah, it's been a while.
Been a while. Well, we're overdue. We're overdue.
Yeah, I know Ingleside has a proud tradition of basketball in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s of district and making it to the state tournament and all that. And, hopefully we can bring that back here.
Oh yeah, back in the days. I graduated in '92. Back in the days, man, Ingleside was a powerhouse. The girls, the basketball girls,
Yeah.
they were a powerhouse. All right, Coach. Well, let's get and recap the your last games here, the tournament in Orange Grove. So you go into Orange Grove.
Yes.
There were some teams that, looking at it, I thought we could fare well just on what I had seen that we had done. Just your
Yes.
thoughts on the way the team played overall in that tournament.
Oh, I thought overall, with the exception of the Cal Allen game, we came out a little timid there. Uh, but the other games, we came out and handled our business pretty early. And, uh, you know, none of the games I felt were really in doubt. The Cal Allen game, we it was a kind of a battle early. They got off to a pretty good lead. We fought back to it was 27-25, and then I have no idea what happened. And our intensity dropped, and the next thing you know, it was 42-25. So of course, I called a timeout and talked to the girls, and we next, from 42-25, it got to I think at one point maybe a 5-point game. We had a couple missed free throws in the last minute and a couple little missed shots that we had there at the end of the game, and that could have made it even closer. But we just waited too long to, with that intensity that I expect from those girls for the whole game. We showed up in the fourth quarter and did that and brought the game back to where we almost could win.
Yeah, well, we'll learn from that. The best thing to do is to kind of understand. I think in talking to Ashley, she talked about. I think the girls understand what they need to do, not get behind, right, to give themselves a chance. But coach, being able to fight back, not giving up. I mean, you could have given up, right? Just it's over. They fought themselves back into the game,
Oh yeah,
gave themselves an opportunity, and I think that speaks a lot as we continue to progress into the next couple of games here in non-district before we start a district play starts here in early January. So we're just about a week or two away from district. We'll get coaches' thoughts on that here in a bit. Coach, let's talk about the other levels. I always like to talk about the other levels. So what's going on? If you can get us into the sub-varsity and middle school, they've been playing. How are we doing down at those levels?
I'll start with the middle school. We got 4 teams. We got an A and a B on each 7th and 8th grade team, and they've all got winning records. I think the most any of those teams has is 2 losses. So they've won a majority of their games. There may be one that has 3 losses, but I can't remember every game. But they're winning games. They've beat Rockport. I know they beat Centon, beat Robstown. Trying to think who they lost to. I know B team had a tournament where they lost to Port Aransas A team. So, yeah, they're doing great down there. They're getting good experience. A lot of talent coming up from that group. That
Awesome.
here in 2 or 3 years they'll be part of my group. I'm sure there's quite a few of them. And then JV, they're just over 500, but they're playing some bigger schools with us. They come with us to the bigger schools, and so sometimes they have more numbers than us as far as who to pick from, and so a lot of times they get a little overmatched sometimes. But this group has some talent. They got some freshmen on that group also that are helping out. So I don't know their exact record. I just know it's over 500. They're doing well.
That's great. And every week we'll come out with Coach on his podcast, and we'll be updating the games just to keep the community informed of what they're doing. But the same thing, we talk a lot about varsity, and we want you to come out to the varsity games, but also the sub varsity usually plays before. So if you can make it out there early, we definitely want to show support to the
Oh yeah,
sub varsity and to the middle school as well. I mean, that's our future. We need to focus on them. They'll be up in high school, be playing in varsity, if not in the next year or two, the next 3 years or so. So we definitely want to continue to recognize those players and those coaches in that program because, coach, I think that's where it starts. It doesn't start when they get to you. The
oh
better
no,
we do down there, the better they are when they reach varsity, the more success we're going to have. Talking about fundamentals, understanding the game. So those coaches down there at those levels, they really don't get talked about a lot and get a lot of the recognition. That's why I like to focus on them because they put so much work. And what you see these girls do on Friday and Tuesday, a lot of that goes back to even youth, what they were doing there when they were playing in the middle school. We definitely want to recognize those coaches and our program down there at the middle school. So we'll continue to do that every week when we talk to Coach Whittle here on this podcast. Every Monday at 6, you can catch it right here on the MPND Sports Network, our Facebook page. Now, I do want to tell you that later on tonight or tomorrow, we will we'll upload them to our other social media platforms, which is our MPND, our YouTube channel, our Twitter page, and you can also catch it on Spotify. Just kind of hit GT Sports on Spotify, Premier Sports Talk, and just go up and look at the podcast, and you'll see the Ingleside Lady Mustangs basketball, and just pick which one you want to hear. And you can catch it on audio, possibly even on video, and then it's also on Pocket Cast. So, Coach, we do have them throughout the other areas, so we can kind of get it outside of Ingleside and get more eyes on our program. Coach, let's
that's
talk
awesome.
about the next couple of games you got coming up. I think you have Robstown and Kingsville. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, we play Robstown tomorrow at 5 and 6:15 at their place in Robstown. Then Friday we're playing here at 4 o'clock and 5:15. I don't know if the schedule shows that on yours, but we
It
play at
does.
4 and 5:15.
It
I think
does. Now you've beaten Kingsville And I want to get your thoughts on that. But Robstown, I think this is the first time we played them, unless we played them in a
No, yeah, we
tournament.
haven't played them this year. Yeah, they're a talented group. They're better than they were last year. They gave us trouble last year. So, and plus we're going into their place. We played them at a tournament last year. So yeah, we're going over to their place where I know it's going to be hard to play, and it's going to be difficult. So it's if you notice our December schedule, I don't think we're at home until this Friday. So I think that's good for the kids, especially the young ones, that they get that type of pressure and that type of experience.
Absolutely. And coach, what are the keys for you tomorrow? What are the keys for the Lady Mustangs to bring the W back home?
Well, it's we talked about it. Between Ashley and our seniors, we expect them to be the leaders and provide a lot of the relief from the other kids by scoring, and you know they're the ones that are expected to get so many points a game and all that. And the freshmen, they score when they need it and when they have the opportunities. I always tell the girls, if you're open, shoot the ball. I don't care who you are. If it's a shot that you can hit it. So, our seniors and Ashley, the juniors, take care of business there and do their thing. It makes everything easier for the freshmen because then they're more freed up to just play ball, which they're very good at. When they have to start thinking and the pressure, if they're in a pressure situation, they're still learning how to handle that. So if those older girls take that off of them, it makes them play better, and it makes everybody just work out a lot better. A lot of that starts with Ashley, because you probably didn't see it, but she's a 6 foot point guard.
I was, go- I was
So
going to ask her how tall. I was
you
going
don't
to
see
ask her.
that in girls basketball. So she's able to do things, and as far as see over the defense and be able to, I'll even send her into the post because a lot of them were putting their 5'4" point guards on her, and so I can put her on the post, and she's able to pass over the top or score opportunities, and so she's kind of the catalyst of our offense. And then she sets up Maddie and Danae and some of those older girls and Krista. They're able to get easy baskets down there, and then that all opens up those younger girls to get their open shots.
Awesome. And I was going to ask her because she looked like she was pretty tall. And I said, no, I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to
She's
put her on the spot.
I'm pretty close to 6 foot, and she may be just a little bit taller than me. So yeah, it's a great thing to have in girls basketball, especially because that's basically like having a Magic Johnson or a LeBron. Size wise, that can handle the ball compared to some of these girls. If you're comparing, it's kind of apples and oranges, but it's kind of a comparison that people can relate to. That she's able to do things that a lot of teams we play against don't have.
Right. No, that's an advantage for us. That's an advantage for Ingleside, right? To be able to use your like you tell you're using your multiple ways. If you gotta put it down the post to get some points, it's easier for her to see over the defense, which is an advantage for a player, right? I mean, I played basketball and I loved basketball. I was only about 5'11", but man, I loved the post game.
Yeah,
Uh, and I was a mid range. I was never a 3-point shooter, just didn't have the range. I was a mid free throw type guy, and I loved the inside. I just did. It came easy to me. Played a
yeah,
lot of sports, but basketball just came easy to me. Figured it out really quickly. Could use my left easy, so I stuck with it. It was a lot of fun. Can't do much of it now as you get older. Your knees and your back and all kinds of things hurt. But
what you mean?
love watching it. I love playing it. Uh, and I was actually watching it the other day, and I thought, and I wish I could go out there and do it, but I know I couldn't. I probably pull something if I even just took a shot. But it's a lot of fun to watch. And again, there's 3 more games, I believe, or so left in the non-district. We definitely want to get those wins. Go into district with a win, and it all starts tomorrow in Robstown. So, Mustang fans, if you can take the drive out there, that'd be great. We will not be there to live stream that game, but go out there, support the team. We can get the win, then we come back to Kingsville on Friday. And we've already beaten them once, but it's not that easy the second go around, third go around. So we'll have to be able to fight that. But the goal is to get these wins and get into district play, which Rockport Fulton, the Lady Mustangs will be traveling to Rockport in early January for district play. But we'll have Coach on next Monday to talk about that before we start district play, and we'll definitely break that game down. Well, Coach, thank you very much for spending some time. I really appreciate it. Coach is going to come on every Monday when he's available. If there's a time that he can, he'll let me know, and I'll definitely post it. Outside of that, expecting the Ingleside Lady Mustangs basketball podcast every Monday at 6. You catch it live right here on the MPND Sports Network, our Facebook page. Coach Whittle will be here, and at times he'll bring in a player. At times, probably he won't. But when we do have that player, we'll let you guys know and tune in. We definitely want more support, more eyes on this podcast, on our streaming. This is our basketball program. We definitely want people to come out and support it. And like I said, for the community, we have a responsibility. Our responsibility is to come out, support the podcast, support the live stream, support the players and the coaches. It's a lot of fun. Come on out there. I think, Coach, we have a good chance. We'll be in the mix there for that district title, and that's be really, really good. Coach, thank you very much once again. I'll give you the final thought. Anything you want to add?
First of all, I appreciate everything you've done for our, promoting our programs, from football, volleyball, basketball, all the programs. I appreciate what you and your program have done. I think if the fans come out and watch, who haven't seen us before, they're going to get it exciting. We're a fast-paced team. We like to push the ball up the floor, shoot a lot of threes, shoot a lot of, just get a lot of shots up. We play a full court press that, try to really put a lot of pressure on the other team. And it's a real exciting brand of basketball that I think, a lot of people will enjoy.
It's a lot of fun, and I'm telling you, I'm lucky. This is going to be a very good district. You really got to come out, support the Lady Mustangs. It's going to be a tough district. These games are going to go down the wire, and for a fan, that's exciting. You want to see a good game. These teams play each other twice, so we'll go on the road. They'll come to our house, and so if you can't make it on the road, definitely try to make it out to those games. And again, you can catch it. I'll definitely create a post on game day, letting you guys know where the Lady Mustangs will play. Come on out and support them. Coach, thank you very much. And we'll see you next Monday. And if you have a player, let me know who it is so I can go ahead and create a post and let the community know who our next player will be if we have one on Monday.
Yes, sir, I will. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, and good luck tomorrow. Safe travels.
Bye-bye.